Far away across the sea. Chapter 1, Reflection. Sometimes the squirrel looked in the mirror beside his door and didn't know what to think of himself. He stared at his ears and his nose and at the wrinkles on his forehead, but he always saw the same thing and never knew what to think of it. "I want to ask you something," he said to himself. "Fire away," he answered. "If only I knew what," he said. He gazed at himself for a long time. Then suddenly he said, "Maybe I should write to you." "Yes," he answered eagerly. He turned round, sat down at his table, wrote a letter to himself, and gave it to the wind. The wind took the letter over the woods, over the sea, and over the desert, and back to the woods where it was delivered to the squirrel. The squirrel took the letter, opened it, and read, "Dear Squirrel, I don't know what I'm doing. Do you?" The squirrel looked at the letter, then sat down in front of the window. It was a beautiful day. The sun was high in the sky, and its light shone down on all the trees, all the leaves, and all the branches. There were a few small, elegant white clouds in the sky, and no wind blew. The squirrel breathed in deeply and smelled the summer scent of the woods. He waved to the swan flying up above and to the caterpillar who was crawling slowly down a branch of a beech tree. The squirrel sat there for a long time. Then he wrote another letter to himself. The wind rose and took the letter over the woods, over the sea, over the desert, and delivered it back to the squirrel as the sun was setting. He opened it quickly and read, "Dear Squirrel, I don't know either, but if you go outside later and sit at the very end of the large branch, I'll say something to you." The squirrel carefully folded up the letter and put it away in the bottom drawer of his cupboard. The mirror was hanging on the wall above it, but it was dark and he could not make out his own reflection. He went outside to sit on the very end of the large branch to hear what he had to say. His heart thumped. "Shh," he said.